Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name's Rhiannon and today I'm going to be sharing with you my goals for 2021. So these are going to be a lot of different goals to do with reading and my content on YouTube. Before I get started, I do want to say if you can hear any noise in the background, I'm so sorry, but my cat is in here and she's decided to try and make herself comfortable and she's just running around behind the camera. So I am sorry if you can hear that. Hopefully she'll settle down in a second. But yeah, I have never filmed a goals video and I feel like this is the year that I definitely want to start doing that. I feel like if I have a set goal, it will definitely help me out throughout the year, and I want to look back at this at the start of next year and see if I actually achieved any of these. Obviously last year was absolutely awful, and as of now we have no idea how 2021 is going to go, so I'm not going to be too hard on myself if I don't complete all the things I wanted to complete this year. But I definitely feel like it is nice to sit down and plan my goals and share them with you guys, so that is what I've decided to do today. The first thing I'm going to chat to you about is actually my Goodreads goal, and I just have my phone here because I wanted to look at the past challenges I've done to see if I met them, to see if I surpassed them, and it's actually quite shocking. So in 2016 my goal was 35 books and I only read 25. In 2017 my goal was 20 books and I read 20 books. In 2018 my goal was 35 books and I read 35. In 2019 my goal was 30 and I did manage to read 70, which was a massive deal for me because, as you can see, my past challenges were all around 20 to 30, so to double that was just absolutely crazy to me. And then in 2020, so last year, my goal was 50 books and I read 108 books, which if I thought 70 was a lot, 108 has definitely topped that. And to be honest with you guys, I don't think I will ever manage to read that many books in a year again. I did have 5 months off of work at the start of the year. I think it was from March until August, where I was on furlough because of my health, and so there was literally nothing for me to do except play on my Switch and read some books. If it was any other year, I don't think I would have read half as many as I did, but like I said, I was stuck at home, there wasn't much to do, and so I turned to my favourite thing, which is books. This year's challenge though, I am going to keep it at 50. I wanted to up it, but realistically I am meant to be starting placement next week, so that's going to be like a full-time job from Monday to Friday. I'd say about 8 AM till 5 PM, and then I do also have my part-time job on Sunday, which is normally from 8 AM till 5 PM, so the only day I'll have off from anything is Saturday, and I feel like I will have to do uni work on that day. So I feel like my reading is definitely going to suffer this year, and I don't want to be setting an unrealistic goal and then trying to read a ton of books at the end of the year just to fulfill that goal. I'd rather just take my time with reading, making sure I choose some books that I really do want to read and have interest in, and that way hopefully it will keep me motivated to read and I will definitely want to fit reading in where I can. I'm hoping that 50 books is a manageable number for me. I do have a set TBR every month where I do read 5 books, so if I read 5 books every month throughout the year, I would ultimately read 60 books. So I'm definitely hoping that'll be the case. Of course, if I fall behind one month, I'm not going to stress out about it. I definitely have so many more things going on this year that need to be my priority in a way. I will still want to be reading because obviously I want to be talking about the books to you guys, reviewing some books, just creating content about the books I read in general, so that will definitely still be coming your way. It's just that I don't want to put a lot of pressure on myself to be reading a load of these different books. My second goal is to try and complete as many series as I can that I've already started, and the main series that came to mind when I was thinking about this goal is this one right here, which is the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J Maas. I still have not finished that series, guys. I was meant to do a reread of it last year, and during that reread I was going to read the last 2 books that I needed to read to complete the series, which were Tower of Dawn and Kingdom of Ash, but ultimately I never got around to doing that, which is a bit of a shame. I did read Assassin's Blade, which is the prequel novella stories, but I did not manage to get to the core series. So that is definitely something I want to do this year, and I'm in luck because I know there is a read along for these books currently happening, and I think it's one where you read 1 book each month, which is definitely manageable for me. I know in January they were starting with Assassin's Blade, but like I said, I did read that one last year and I don't feel like I need to dive back into it. In regards to other series, I do have quite a lot that I need to finish, one of them being the Imperium trilogy, which is up here, the first book being Furyborn. We also have the Daevabad trilogy, which is here, and I do just have a lot of series I need to finish in general that if I were to talk you through all of them we would be here for way too long. But yeah, those are just a few that I definitely want to finish this year if I can. I am so bad at starting the first book in a series and then just never carrying on with the rest of them, and so by the time I actually get around to reading the rest of them I've completely forgotten what's happened in that first book. I'm definitely the type of person that would prefer to sit down and binge read a whole series rather than reading the books as they come out, and I've found that if I do read the book as it comes out then it takes me a lot longer to actually get to the next book and then complete the series, which is definitely a bit annoying because if you're excited about a new series that's coming out you obviously want to read that book as soon as possible, but then the fact that you have to wait a year for the next book kind of lessens that hype after you've read that first book. And so I do buy the books. I normally have them pre-ordered because I am excited for them, but then once I receive them I just put them on the shelves and kind of forget about them for a while. So yeah, my second goal for this year is to try and finish the series that I've already started, and just also try not to start any new series that I know I'm not going to binge and finish this year either. My next goal is to read some more non-fiction books, and when I say this I do mainly mean true crime non-fiction. So for example, I have The Five, which is a book about the victims of Jack the Ripper. I have Helter Skelter, which is a book about Charles Manson. I have I'll Be Gone in the Dark by Michelle McNamara, which is about the Golden State Killer. And I did recently buy a book about Dennis Nilsen, which is Killing for Company. With those types of books, I'm so interested in them, but I rarely ever get to them because I'm such a fantasy reader, as you can see by these shelves behind me. And I feel like by reading a true crime non-fiction, I will be slowing down my pace and I will be tackling something that is very deeply rooted in this real world. Whereas when I read, I tend to read for escapism and for enjoyment. And so to sit down and read a book about things that have actually happened, things that are very dark in nature, is definitely going to be harrowing for me. I love watching true crime documentaries and I love listening to true crime podcasts, but I feel like sitting down and reading the book and spending so much time learning about specific things that have actually happened in real life, I feel like it's going to have a lot more of an impact on me, and it's definitely going to be the type of book that would take all my attention or none of it. And by that I mean if I give it my whole attention, I am more likely to be in more of a slump afterwards because I will just be immersed in that story, immersed in that history, and I will be very disconnected from everything else at that point. And I feel like I would definitely need some time to recover and reflect on what I have been reading and what the overall impact of that actually is. I don't know if what I'm trying to get across is coming across in a way that makes sense, but basically it is always something that I've been interested in reading about. It's just the fact that if I'm ever in the mood to pick up a book, I will gravitate towards fantasy books and not non-fiction, and I definitely want to change that this year. I do want to give more time and energy towards reading non-fiction because I do feel like it's very important to do so. Another goal I have is to read more diversely. So last year I thought I was doing a really good job at this until it came to my end of year stats, and I realised that the majority of books that I read were actually from white authors, and that is definitely something I want to change. I do have a load of different books on my shelves from authors of colour, authors from different countries, from different races, so this year I definitely want to make a point of sitting down and reading their works. I feel like it's important that everyone does get represented in the book community. I feel like it's also very important to read books from people who are different to you, because obviously if you read the same sort of things from the same type of authors, you're not really going to experience anything that's really different. Whereas if you have all these different authors from all these different backgrounds and cultures and countries, then you're going to have such an amazing range of stories, and within those stories there are going to be so many different elements that you can never get from a white author from somewhere like the UK or America. So this year I do definitely want to make sure that I am reading more diversely and that I'm supporting authors from all types of backgrounds and ethnicities and countries and cultures and all of that jazz. And then leading on from that, the next goal I have is to actually read more translated works. I don't think I read a single translated book last year, which is kind of mind-blowing to me, but I always feel like those are the best type of stories. Something I am very passionate about is film, and I've watched quite a few films recently that were originally in Korean but have been translated, and for some reason I feel like it just comes across so much better as a source material than if it was the same type of book written by someone else, if that makes sense. What I'm saying is the films I've watched them with subtitles, so I have watched them in Korean for example with the subtitles so that I can fully immerse myself in what the film industry in this country is like, and it is just absolutely brilliant. Like I said, I feel like if someone from the outside was trying to create a world similar to what was being portrayed, that would not work, but because it's being created by people from that country, from that culture, it just comes across so well, and that is definitely what is drawing me towards some translated works. I think the top one I want to read at the minute is called the Mirrors Quartet, I believe. I will just double check that. Okay, so it's called the Mirror Visitor Quartet, the first one being A Winter's Promise, and that is by Christelle Dabos, and I believe it was first written in French but has actually been translated into English. I don't currently own that book, but it is one that I've been interested in for so long. It's high up on the list of books that I want to buy, so I'm pretty sure it will appear in a book haul soon. But yeah, I just feel like I'd get so much out of reading translated books, and again, it's something I definitely want to focus more on this year. I do also want to try and read more Welsh literature this year. If you don't know, I am Welsh. It is my first language. It's the language I speak day to day, but Welsh literature is not something that is extremely inviting. I'm not sure if that's what I'm going for, but it's basically very hard to find different types of stories. There's not much fantasy in it it at all. It's just very much the same type of stories. There's never anything absolutely spectacular that's coming out, because obviously it's such a small market that you need to make sure that if you're bringing out a Welsh book, then it's going to be suitable for all ages. And because of that, like I said, it's quite confined and there's not much space within it to offer different things. Like I said earlier, I'm predominantly a fantasy reader, and that is definitely not a thing that is prominent in Welsh literature, which is really sad actually. I would love to have a more expansive selection of Welsh literature, and so because of that I've strayed away from reading them, and I definitely do want to remedy that. It's just I haven't found a book that I have absolutely obsessed over, and so because of that I do tend to avoid it. I'm not 100% sure if I'll manage to read some Welsh books this year, but I do definitely want to make more of a conscious effort to read more Welsh literature. The next goal I have is to buy less books. I don't know how much money I spent on books last year, but it was a substantial amount, which I'm not angry at myself for, because that was what got me through this horrible year. But this year I feel like I definitely need to concentrate on the books I already have on my shelves. I need to make them a priority, and I just can't do that if I keep buying new books. I'm not going to completely restrict myself. If I want to buy something, I probably will. It's just that I want to make sure I am spending less money on books this year, so that I can focus my attention on the books that have been on my shelves for quite a long time, because I do tend to just buy books and then forget about them once they're here. And then my boyfriend did also gift me a new Kindle for Christmas, which I definitely want to use more. I do have Kindle Unlimited at the minute, so I have a lot of books that I want to read. Some of them are ones that I do have physical copies of, but I feel like it would be nice just to read on this. And others are books that I have been interested in but don't particularly want to buy yet. So I feel like the Kindle will definitely be a very big help for me this year. It will allow me to still read books that I'm interested in, but it just makes sure that I'm not spending a lot of money on books that I probably won't even get to this year. And then the last goal that I have for today is to just try and better my YouTube content, whether that be thumbnails, the video itself, the quality of my videos, just all of that basically. So I don't know if you can tell already, but I did get a ring light for Christmas, so hopefully the lighting in my latest videos has been a lot better than usual. I can definitely see a difference, and I much prefer it to what I had before. The winter months in the UK are very dark and gloomy, so if you ever get a day where the sun's not out, it's very hard to film and for the lighting to stay consistent. So at least now I can film at any point in the day, whether it be after work, after uni, first thing in the morning, or the last thing at night. So at least this now means that I can try and be more consistent with my filming and uploading schedule. I have also invested in an editing app where I can make better thumbnails, hopefully, and so I'm hoping that the look of my channel will just improve from that. I am also thinking about getting a microphone, or at least a muffler, because I have noticed that the audio isn't the absolute best in my videos, and that is just because I am filming on a vlogging camera, not a proper camera, because I can't afford a big DSLR. I think that this camera is brilliant for me at the minute and for what I want to do with it. I definitely don't need to be spending a load of money on a massive camera right now, but I am hoping that the little changes that I make are definitely noticeable and ultimately come together to make my videos a lot better for you guys. Right, I have rambled on for so long today. I hope everything I was talking about made sense. It definitely does in my head, but obviously trying to put it across to you guys is sometimes a bit difficult, because I know what my goals are, but trying to explain it, I'm just scared that people won't completely understand why those are my goals or anything like that. Again, they are just personal goals. I'm not going to punish myself if I don't manage to get to every single thing that I wanted to this year. It's just more of a kind of checklist that I want to make sure that I am making more of a conscious effort to improve myself as a reader, and to make sure that it all adds up and comes together so that I am able to recommend a lot more books to you guys from different genres, different authors, different cultures, all that sort of thing. So hopefully if you stumble across one of my videos, you can get something out of it at least, and I'm really hoping that that is the case. Right, for now I am going to move on to the Welsh word of the day. Remember, if you want to be featured in one of my videos, leave a comment down below with an English word that you want me to translate, and next to it leave Welsh word of the day so I know that that's what that is for. And today's Welsh word of the day is actually chosen by Charlotte, and she commented on one of my latest videos saying, "I know this is really random, but my Welsh word of the day is microwave." And I knew that was going to come up at some point, but I didn't realise it was going to be this soon. And I actually have 3 different words for microwave. So the first one is just microwave. I think my family and I use that quite a bit, just because the Welsh words are a bit ridiculous, and it's just much easier saying microwave in the spur of the moment. The second one does kind of sound similar, and that is meicrodon. And then the last one, and I feel like the one Charlotte really wants to hear me say, is pop-de-ping. Pop de ping. And if I were to translate pop de ping to English, it would literally be an oven that pings. Which is what it does, so I mean, you can't go wrong with it. But it's just a really funny word and it's very fun to say. Right, that is the end of today's video, guys. If you like this video, don't forget to click the like button, as well as clicking the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content from me. Thank you so much for watching. It truly does mean the world to me, and I will see you soon in my next video. Goodbye!